Welcome to your new job. You've made it through the hard part, right? Actually finding a job. So now what? Once you have successfully found a job, your next goal should be success on the job. Job success comes from being a good employee, and good employees all have two things in common: a great attitude and good work habits.
All right, we'll get those reports out to you the first part of next week.
Hey, Ms. Harris, I really need to talk to you about this performance review you gave me.
I'm on the phone right now, Scott. Why don't you talk to Nancy and schedule a time for us to talk?
Okay, but I don't understand what's more important than this.
Hey, Sabrina, if you're done getting ready to open, now's a good time to discuss your request for a raise.
Actually, I haven't started work yet.
But you clocked in. Once you clock out for break and come and see me, I think we need to talk.
Great. Now I've got to waste my own break time.
Scott and Sabrina work in two very different settings, and they each have different goals. Scott has dreams of working his way up the corporate ladder and is confident he can be the fastest rising young executive in company history. Sabrina wants to earn more money and make sure her same job at the store is available next summer. Despite their differences, Scott and Sabrina have one important factor in common. They both want job security, and the right attitude and work habits will help them meet their goals. In fact, Scott and Sabrina are about to learn what it takes to be a great employee, no matter where you work or what you do.
I was really disappointed in my first performance review, Ms. Harris.
I was disappointed too, Scott. When you were first hired, you set your goal to become an assistant executive in 3 months and then an executive in the next 3. I really had high hopes because I started out the same way.
You started out as a data entry clerk? Well, I don't guess that your performance review looked like mine then. What's your secret?
Oh, there's no secret. The key to becoming a good employee is to develop good work habits. The first step to developing good work habits is to have a positive attitude.
Sabrina, Mr. Phillips has denied your request for a raise. I'm sorry.
But why? I do everything that you trained me to do. What's the problem?
Well, I guess there are some things we can't train you to do. We can make rules about your appearance, attendance, and how to treat customers, but those rules don't mean anything if you don't follow them. You have to display good personal qualities to be a good employee. We can't teach you good personal qualities, things such as positive attitude, courtesy, reliability, and pride in your job. All those things must come from within you.
In today's workplace, a positive attitude and good personal qualities are important keys to job success. Companies know that these things can't be taught in a classroom or during training. Being a good employee means having a positive attitude and showing it by doing your job and exceeding expectations. Don't carry negative feelings into the workplace, and do leave personal problems at home. Finally, demonstrate good personal qualities such as respect, courtesy, honesty, pride, and reliability. Your customers and your employer have a right to expect this.
So, to get my raise, you're saying that I need to develop good work habits? And to do that, I have to be reliable and show courtesy and respect while I do my job? But how?
Well, a simple rule to remember is to treat others how you would want to be treated. And Sabrina, there are specific steps to follow to help improve your work habits.
Okay, like what?
Well, most places of employment have a policy manual or company handbook.
Why don't we have a company policy manual?
We do, and I asked you to read it the first day on the job, remember? Third step to developing good work habits is to read and understand your company policy manual.
Oh, that. Well, I guess I just figured that anything I needed to know, someone would just tell me.
Sabrina, how can you develop good work habits if you don't know the company rules? And without good work habits, how can you keep a job, let alone get a raise?
So, you're saying a good employee should read and understand the company policies?
Yes, a person needs to adjust to their work environment by following those rules and policies too.
What kind of stuff is covered in the manual?
Companies vary, but ours, for instance, has things about your appearance and dress code, punching in and out, even how often you get paid. For example, if you would have read our company policy, you'd know that jeans aren't allowed on the job. You deal with the customers, so the company wants you to wear dress slacks, a blouse or collared shirt. If you worked in our corporate office, you'd wear business attire. If you worked in the warehouse, you'd wear jeans and protective gear. Each job requires different attire. You need to know what your specific job requires.
Employees can't act responsibly if they don't know what's expected. Find out appropriate dress for your specific job. Keeping and advancing your job means following company rules. Don't wear too much makeup or jewelry. And avoid revealing clothes like low-cut jeans or miniskirts. And guys, tuck in those shirts. Most employers will tell you what is appropriate for the workplace.
So to improve on my next performance review and to get that promotion I want, I have to show a positive attitude and exceed your expectations?
That's a good first step.
But I still don't get it. I do everything that's required of me in the policy manual. How can I exceed expectations?
You can start by helping out in areas other than what your job requires. That's a big way to show good positive attitude and exceed expectations. Working for a company is like being a part of a team. If you're willing to help out, it shows everyone that you're a team player.
Well, what about this? It says I need to improve on my communication skills and my people skills.
Good work habits require you to communicate well with coworkers, supervisors, and customers. Communication is an important job skill and an important people skill.
Well, there's not much need to communicate if I spend most of my day at the computer.
But that's not true. Good communication means updating coworkers on your work progress, clarifying work problems with your boss, paying attention to others, and following directions. These are all things you and everyone everywhere have to do to be successful.
Fine, but what about my people skills? What's wrong with my people skills?
Scott, do you think I can get those spreadsheets by the end of the day?
You could plan on getting them before lunch if Nancy decided to get me those numbers. She's so slow sometimes.
Maybe you ought to let Nancy know that you need the numbers. And she could have them and just not know that you're ready. Besides, we can't go on with the project until we get your spreadsheets.
I mean, does she do any work around here at all besides boss me around?
Scott, I really don't think Nancy's trying to be bossy. She just wants the best for you, so she's trying to help you out.
Yeah, whatever.
Do you think anything was wrong with that incident?
Yeah, I guess so. I could have told Nancy I was ready for the numbers and shouldn't have talked about her like that. I could see now that I made Bill uncomfortable.
Experts say we spend nearly 90% of our day communicating. Jobs simply cannot get done without good communication. That's why communication is the most important skill set employers look for today when hiring. Whether listening to instructions, reading a work schedule, writing a memo, or answering phones, good communication is an important work habit to develop. If you need help, ask. If you make a mistake, tell a supervisor. Find out how you can address the problems. Supervisors appreciate an employee who recognizes when they need help. It shows the employee is a team player, and it develops problem-solving abilities. When you work with other people, you're part of a team. Getting along with others and avoiding gossip give your coworkers and supervisor a positive image of you.
So, other than my appearance, which I promised to fix, I don't see what the problem is.
Let's talk about time management skills. Time management skills are essential to developing good work habits. You've been late 10 times in 3 months.
Yeah, but when I'm late, I try and stay a little longer to get all my hours in.
The only person that helps is you, Sabrina. If you're scheduled for 10 o'clock, that means you start working at 10 o'clock. We have duties for you to do to help get the store open. If you're not here, someone has to cover for you.
Yeah, well, I do the same for them.
The point is they make sure you don't have to do their job. If you're scheduled to start at 10 o'clock, you should arrive earlier. Get your coffee, visit with other employees, get your things put away, and still be ready to start work at 10 o'clock.
So, 10 o'clock means be ready to work at 10.
Exactly. And if you're going to be late, call the supervisor and tell them how late you'll be. I also see that you missed quite a few days of work, too.
Yeah, well, sometimes I take the day off to go to the pool with my friends. When school starts, we won't have the time.
You should only take days off when it's a legitimate reason. An illness, an emergency, and even then, let your supervisor know as much in advance as possible. Going to the pool with friends is not an emergency.
I think I'm starting to get the point. Speaking of time management, it's almost 11 and I haven't finished my opening duties.
Well, let's get back to work, and we'll talk more later.
Time management skills are essential to developing good work habits. Having a job means managing your time and making sacrifices. A student with a job needs to allow time during the week for school, studying, and work. This means they have to skip going out with friends or watching TV some nights. Parents who work should arrange childcare ahead of time so they can get to work on time. Always be on time. Allow extra time for traffic and have an emergency transportation plan in case your car breaks down or the bus is late. Set an alarm clock to help you get up in the morning. If you're going to be late or out sick, know the proper procedure for notifying your supervisor. Good time management skills show you are reliable, and this gains the trust of your boss and coworkers.
Sabrina, could you make sure the new shirts are on the rack before we open?
Sure.
Thanks.
Finally, time management is important when you are given a deadline. Part of managing your time means being able to set priorities. Make a list of everything you have to accomplish and put them in order of when they need to be done, soonest to latest. Remember, if you don't think you can meet a deadline, let a supervisor know.
Hey, Tom. I know you told me to get the new shirts on the racks, but I don't think that I can do that. Fill the cash registers and sweep the floor by the time the store opens. Can I get someone to help?
I'm sorry, I didn't realize you had so much to do. Let me get Jeff to help me with the shirts while you fill the registers and sweep, okay?
Great.
This part of my performance review, I really don't understand. I got poor marks on my technical skills. In college last year, I learned all the latest computer skills and data entry software applications. There's no one in this office that has more knowledge than me. Why did I score so low?
The skills you learned in college are very valuable, Scott, but our office taught you a particular software application, and we want you to use it.
But my way makes so much more sense.
Even if it does, you can't just change without demonstrating to me why your new method is better.
Well, you probably want to use my software anyway.
That might be the case. Why don't we go over your software application together? We can review your job performance later.
Almost every job requires some set of technical skills. Technical skills can be anything from understanding data entry software to operating a cash register to mechanical repair capabilities. To demonstrate you have good work habits, master the technical skills required for your job. Once you master the basics, continue to learn. Ask a supervisor what skills you can work on next, and keep abreast of new technology and procedures. Listen and learn on the job. Be open to new ways of doing things, even if you were taught differently somewhere else. Avoid having a know-it-all attitude, and don't be so quick to criticize or complain about the skills you are learning. If you think you have a better way, approach a supervisor and ask to discuss your idea, but don't criticize the current methods. Each company has its way of doing things.
Why are you so dead set on this program anyway? It's so slow.
Because I designed it, and I know it inside and out.
Oh, sorry.
Finally, keep track of all the training you receive and the skills you learn. This information can be helpful when asking for a raise or a promotion. Staying busy at work is an important key to job success. If you complete a task or assignment, it's your responsibility to find more work. Ask a coworker if you can help, or ask a supervisor what to do next. Stay on task when working and concentrate. Staying busy and helping others is a good way to earn the respect and trust of everyone in your workplace.
Hey, Miss Harris, is this a good time to talk?
Thanks for asking. It's a great time. Come on in.
Well, I've really been focusing on what we talked about on my last performance review. And I've been wondering if you noticed. And if there's any other areas that I need to work on more.
I have noticed, Scott. You know, I really like to see employees who are concerned about their job performance. It shows you care about your success and the company's. We'll talk about how you've been doing and ways you can assess your own job performance.
Job assessment is a way employees can monitor their own performance at work. Good work habits require you to assess your work and your attitude every day. Ask yourself these questions each day on the job. Do I get to work on time? If I'm going to be late, do I call and let my boss know? Do I rarely miss work? Do I let my boss know ahead of time if I'm going to miss work? Do I follow company rules? Am I dressed appropriately for the job? Do I try to solve problems that may occur by asking for help? Do I know my job skills? Am I learning more every day? Do I work as hard as I can? Do I follow instructions and concentrate on my work? Do I behave professionally? Would I hire myself if I were the boss? Also, check regularly with your supervisor or manager to see that you are meeting and exceeding her expectations. And if she does offer constructive criticism, accept it. Don't pout or get emotional.
I really appreciate all your help, Miss Harris. I would never have known I was considered a know-it-all if it weren't for your performance review last month. I just thought I was showing how much I could help the company.
Keep checking back with me and do your own job assessment every day. I think your promotion won't be too far off at this rate.
Hey, Tom.
Good morning. I'm glad to see you here already. We got a lot of work to get done today.
I've been meaning to ask you about how I've been doing on the job. Are there any other areas I could improve in? It'd be nice to know that I could have a job here next summer when school's out.
Well, you've shown great improvement the last few weeks, and I'm glad you asked. Keep up the good work, and not only will you have a job next summer, but I also need some help during the winter break, too. Plus, Mr. Phillips has agreed to give you that raise you wanted, if you continue to show improvement.
Great!
The strategies for developing good work habits are the same, no matter what your job is. As your work habits continue to improve, so will your job security and your chance for a promotion or raise. However, there are some extra steps you can take if job advancement is your ultimate goal.
Always work on improving your skills, your communication, technical, and time management skills. Employees who make an effort to improve their work habits show they are hard workers and dedicated to being successful. These are the types of employees supervisors like me look to promote.
A promotion usually means more responsibility. Try asking for and accepting more responsibility or new tasks. Ask to learn more skills, but don't take on so much that your regular work suffers.
Assume a leadership role if you want to get ahead. Being a leader takes good people skills and great communication. Show your supervisor you have the traits needed to be a leader.
Dress the part. Dressing for the job you want next lets the boss know you're responsible and ready for that promotion.
Keeping and advancing your job requires good work habits. I thought that because my job was part-time, I didn't have to try that hard. But I was wrong. No matter what your job or where you work, job success is important, particularly in today's job market.
A positive attitude is one of the most important factors in achieving job success. Plus, it will help make your job more enjoyable. Good personal qualities are also important. Treat others how you would want to be treated. Be honest, respectful, and courteous to your coworkers and your customers.
Also, be reliable. To be reliable, you have to know the company policies and follow them. And don't ever assume anything. Always ask a supervisor before changing or ignoring a rule.
Many people lose their job or get passed over for promotion because they don't have good work habits, not because they can't do the job. Communication skills and people skills are part of good work habits. Get along with others. Be a team player. Tell a coworker or supervisor if you need help. Remember, asking for help isn't a sign of weakness. It shows you're thinking ahead and problem solving. Also, don't gossip and never criticize your coworkers or your supervisor.
Time management skills are another good work habit. Show up to work a few minutes early so that you have time to get ready for work. Talk directly to your supervisor if you need to miss a day of work, and give him as much notice as possible. Prioritize your tasks and meet your deadlines.
Learn all the technical skills required to do your job. Stay on top of new technology and procedures. And be open to new ways of doing things, even if you learned a different way.
When you're being paid to work, give your employer 100%. Stay focused on your work and keep busy.
Take advantage of performance reviews and ask yourself every day if you're displaying good work habits. If a supervisor offers some constructive criticism, don't get defensive.
Improve your work skills and exceed employer expectations.
Take on more responsibility. Show that you're ready to move up the corporate ladder.
Assume a leadership role.
And dress the part.
Just because you're able to do the work doesn't mean you're guaranteed to keep your job. Success on the job comes from showing good work habits and being a great employee. Now, you have the tools you need to keep your job and advance your career. So put them to work for you.